all right. Once more, I do welcome every one of you, all of one away, one of the tune in from Ground Zero. This open mic be meant for all of you on Ground Zero and anywhere in the diaspora. Of course, we have lots and lots of Amazonians all over the globe. And I know once in a while, when I like for know what is going on in the struggle for independence, when I get questions, maybe when I get answers too. And so this open mic is being meant so that some of you can call in and make your contributions, ask questions for anything that is going on in this independence struggle for Amazonia. I want again for welcome everybody. Please do me the favor as usual. Go ahead and you hit your share button, so that we can get everybody on the platform. And now while you do that, I want to tell everybody, tomorrow, mark your calendar and mark your time. Tomorrow, mark your calendar and mark your time. I get a very important guest who will be with me on News Talk tomorrow. Again, this one now a very, and I say that to throw a lot of emphasis. Now a very, as we put on, big guest. And I deliberately did not want to put out a flyer because you never know. We get too many enemies out there, Somebody can just pick a phone call and call the guest and say, oh, don't go on that show, don't talk to Chris Ado. Or somebody can just put something on the social media and before you know, the guest say, oh, I'm so sorry, I cannot make it, I cannot show up. But I just want to pass the information through word of mouth. Say tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber time, I get one of the biggest guests where I don't bring them for this show since this struggle started in 2016. So it's going to be a big guest, big interview tomorrow Friday. So please take note of that. And you don't want to miss it. You really don't want to miss it. It's going to be great. Very educative, very illuminating also. So again, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber, with this special guest that I cannot reveal to you until tomorrow. So please, thank you for once more for tuning in. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let people know that the anchor man today on the open mic. Remember, open mic is for all of you, everybody. You are at liberty to call anytime, make a suggestion, ask a question on anything about pertaining to the struggle for Amazonia. That is why I call it open mic. And unlike news talk that I do, you don't have to wait until the bottom line when I open the phone lines for you to call. You can, ladies and gentlemen, you can call in anytime, any moment to ask a question. So that is what open mic is all about. And today, I'd like to visit this subject of the recently celebrated so-called 11th February. So many things happened. But the most important thing, I'd like to really come here today to thank Ground Zero for their resilience, All right, again, I really like for thank Ground Zero for their resilience. Please stay put. I'll be right back. once more, thank you for tuning in and being part of the broadcast. Again, I just want to remind you that tomorrow is going to be very special, very, very special on the ABS News Talk. I'm going to be bringing you one of the biggest guests I have ever brought on television in the entirety of this Amazonian conflict. That will be tomorrow, 8 p.m. and nobody want to miss it. Nobody want to miss it. And the good thing is always that when I bring those important guests, I open the phone lines for ask questions. So tomorrow is going to be great, really, really great. Let's just hope that everything goes well. There are no technical issues, no connection issues, and everything goes well. So that is tomorrow again, 8 p.m. right here. But today I will be focusing on a number of things. Number one, the just recently botched 11 February, and an article written by International Crisis Group just came out today, and we're going to be talking about it and a few other things. But we're going to focus our discussion on this so-called Youth Day, 11 February, where it just passed. Please, do me a favor, hit your share button. We do not advertise this show. Want others to join if they can. All right. I see somebody's right. I think this is Thomas. Comrade Chris, there is a press statement that I have seen with your signature there. I do not know how true that is. Can you throw some light on it, please? All right. That is why, again, I have open mic, because I can do anything on open mic. I feel talk pigeon as I want on open mic. I feel take any question on open mic. If I had scripted, if it was news talk and I scripted it, I will be focused on the script. But on news talk, I don't need to prepare any script. I just need to come sit down, talk. And so let's see if I can lay hands on that document that Sama Thomas is referring to. All right. Okay, but please go ahead and hit your share button. And let us get into the subject of this broadcast again, which is the 20th May. The 11th February. The 11th February festivities bulged in our territory a few days ago. I will start, of course, you expect me to start from Nkambe. Look, listen, watch this. This is Ngala Gerard. Watch it. Now, in this video, Ngala Gerard comes in. He meets with the mayor of Nkambe. Ngala Gerard goes in, walks in with a suitcase full with money. Now, if you listen to him carefully, I think Ngala Gerard says there is 16 million CFA franc. Ngala Gerard walks in, meets the mayor, opens the suitcase, and unless I heard him wrongly, but I heard him say in this box, in this suitcase, there is 16 million francs. He opens it, and he actually asks the mayor to count it, if they want to count it. And then the mayor said, well, we trust you. You have always come here to help the disadvantaged, the patients. You have always come here to pay their bills. We don't need to count it. We know it is true. And so let's take a look.
Okay, for me, people of Comrade have been ready to me socially and otherwise. My 1 week in coming, I want to assure you that some of those according to financial support, the problem that people have. So I think money. represent 50 million francs for the population. So, don't mind
No, I think no, we don't need to count because it's not some other person's money that you are bringing to us. It's your personal money. I want to confirm that ahead of this visit, he was already handling some very major projects, and you'll be shocked to know that there are even people in hospital whose personal bills there is. Somebody who had an accident who was initially working in the community, whose personal bill was a little above 4 million. He let the person undergo a complete operation in BBH and who is continuing now. There is another guy here in town that people must have known who had a dysfunctional jaw, whose operation at the regional hospital annex was a little bit above 1.6 million, which he has already handled. And of course, they are the groups of disabled people, the orphans, and so on, and the widows who presented their problems. I took them up to him as our MP, as he's been able to bring a lot of it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. In that footage, you can see the suitcase with bundles of money in the suitcase. And when he opens the suitcase, he says to the mayor, there is 15 million CFA franc, 16 million CFA franc in the suitcase. And following that, he asks if the money should be counted, and the mayor says, no. We know you. We don't need to count the money. You have been so kind. You've been so good. I believe the mayor was expecting a chunk of the money to go to him. Apparently, none of it went to him because I followed a conversation between this mayor, I don't know what his name is, and this guy in Yaoundé, who is, what is his name? Let me see. I can get that. Let me see. I can get that. I followed a conversation between him. All right, I think this is the conversation. Ngala Gerard's sack of CPDM blood money under investigation. I hope you are. Now that's a headline. That is a headline. Share in Formosa, mayor of Nkambe saw money, but never received any money, as the money back story goes. Now, this is what the mayor says. The guy you are seeing there, this is what he says. I was stating the fact that Honorable Ngala gave his financial assistance for the victims to the director of Regional Hospital Annex in Nkambe. This was handed by himself personally, as opposed to any insinuation of money handed to a third party. Now, he was speaking, I guess he was speaking here with Dr. Nick Ngwayam. So Ngwayam says, okay, great. He only showed you the bag of money in your office, then carry it to the director of the Regional Hospital Annex, where he settled the bills of the patients. All right, thanks, he said. Now, earlier in the conversation, where is that? I can't find that. But essentially here, comrades, you find the mayor of Nkambe is denying, turning around and saying, no, Ngala Gerard only showed me the money. He did not hand the money to me. He showed me the money and took it away. I don't know whether it is true that an investigation is going on about the money. But the mayor is now trying to retrieve himself, saying that he only saw the money. He doesn't know what the mayor did with, he doesn't know what Ngala Gerard did with the money. So look at that. Look at that. So it is not even sure, it is not certain whether Ngala Gerard gave this money to anybody. Of course, we'll find him in some other videos actually distributing the money. Let's look at that, please. We find him in some other videos actually distributing the money. So in this video, Ngala Gerard is actually distributing some of the money. He is distributing some of the money to the population. Now, take note. Take note. Let's see that. Now, I'd like you to take note. Take note that the money you see Ngala Gerard sharing here, the money you see Ngala Gerard sharing there, ladies and gentlemen, that was not done on 11th February. Ngala Gerard, as you see there, wasn't sharing this money on 11th February. According to some reports, he shared the money on 2 occasions. In fact, if you look at the videos, you see that he is dressed differently while sharing the money on 2 different occasions. Here you find him in a tracksuit. You find him there in the tracksuit sharing money. But then in this other one, you find him in the suit sharing money. I hope this makes sense to somebody. The first picture is in a tracksuit. Look at him there. Look at him there in that tracksuit sharing the money. That is Ngala Gerard in tracksuit sharing the money. Now, in this other video, Ngala Gerard is in a suit sharing the money. Now, that is to let you understand. Before 11 February proper, Ngala Gerard was carrying this money all over the city or the town of Nkambe, distributing it to the population, coercing them to make sure they show up to participate in the march past on the 11th of February. According to the mayor, he first came with the money on February 7th. He first showed up with the money on February the 7th. And then, I guess that is when he was in tracksuit. And then he came up again, I think it was Saturday the 10th, in the suit, and began distributing the money again to lure people to show up and march on 11 February. But this is important because people died. And people died because they received money from Ngala Gerard to show up. We had declared a lockdown, a total lockdown of all of Ambazonia, and no county will be excluded, no town, no city will be excluded. But because they know, say, if they take money and refuse to go out and participate in what Ngala Gerard was luring them to do, they were going to be in trouble. They showed up. And wherever the explosive, the IED, came from, it exploded, people died. I saw some people's legs amputated. Some people lost their arms. So many people, I counted the names that I saw on the social media. There were over 50 people who were injured. Over 50 people who were injured. And according to some reports that I saw, they say a lot of public government, they don't they don't show up, say, it will take care of all the bills. It will take care of all the bills. And why the people, they will lie in pain in the hospital beds. And Ngala Gerard immediately made arrangement. They rushed in, the CPD, and they rushed in helicopter into Nkambe. He hopped into it, and off to Yaoundé he returned, fearing for his own life. Fearing for his own life. Now, this thing will be important because we don't want our people, and I mean Ambazonians out there. These people, they don't get your interest at all. These CPDM elite, they don't get your interest at all. I ask you, if you be there for Nkambe, and one of you who was injured or killed, Maybe one of those in Galajera be give 5,000 francs. I don't know whether it be even reach 5,000 francs or it was 1,000 francs. If you will go take 1,000 francs or even 10,000 francs from Ngala Gerard, and then you show up as you show up, and what happened, and then you get injured the way you got injured. Tell me, what did that 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, if it do for you? Nothing. The highest thing they will do is maybe they will pay for your hospital bills. But the mark of that incident may remain on you. Take for example, people where they amputate their hands, they amputate their legs because of 1,000 or because of 10,000. And you live the rest of your life without hands and without legs. Was that worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Of course not. But at the talk say, when we declare lockdown and ghost towns anywhere in Amazonia, nothing say you will go defile them. If nothing ever happen for your town or your city and you think say, well, nothing usually happens, and you want to go out and try, well, you know, throughout this struggle, in Cambe and Victoria, they get a stinge where we all know they refuse to obey ghost towns, they refuse to obey lockdowns. And so I guess the people in Nkambe were not expecting anything to happen in Nkambe. But they forgot that only inside the same week, they say they abduct 5 officials, including the colonial DO. They forget that. Something happened. And then we saw their corpse turning out somewhere, showing up somewhere. In Cambe, people, they forgot this. They forgot Ngaribu. They forgot many things and they were out. So please, lockdowns, they be meant to be respected, to be observed when we declare them. They be meant to be respected and to be observed. Now, a lot of people to Cameroon will say, as usual, that, oh, the explosive that killed people was not done by the separatists. The separatists. Why would the separatists plan an explosive? Why? I have seen in other places, was it in Jakiri? I think so. The people, the restoration fighters, just to show you how decent they can be, ladies and gentlemen, how decent they can be. They went out into the church and asked people to leave. Now, I like people to look at that because a lot of people to come around go talk, say, oh, that explosive was planted by Amber. Who was in that grandstand? How many Amber were in that grandstand? Only La Republic Army was in the grandstand and the people that Gala Gerard bribed with money. They were the only ones there. Now look at the work of Ambazonia restoration fighters. Look at that.
We were there for choice. Because on 11 February we will deny. So no one will any movement. But they show say yeah, plenty movement then they want to take choice now. Full way after they go march. So now why that we there for church? Yes. Now 11 February we don't deny. Boy then they now for church now.
Now, this video will be important because you see here in this picture, Ambazonia restoration fighters. They walk into the church. They not shoot anybody. They stand there, they ask people to walk out and go back home. You don't see them hurting anybody. Not at all. They supervise, they walk out and waited until everybody walked out, and you not see them touch a person, you not see them hit a person. They allow everybody to walk out smoothly and go back home, ladies and gentlemen, and go back home. But that is not the case. That is not the case with the incident at the grandstand in Nkambe. So to say that, to even think that Ambazonia restoration fighters, that them be plan bomb, that them be plan explosive. Why them not be plan explosive inside this church? Why they not be beat people inside the church? Why they not be arrest people inside this church? Why they not be torture people inside the church? That is to tell you that Ambazonia restoration forces, they behave responsibly. Yeah. They behave responsibly. That's what they did there. So, but ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is, we say, when they declare lockdown, stay for your house. When they declare lockdown, when you hear me go out, put announcement for lockdown, when you hear restoration fighters, they put lockdown, stay inside your house. Boya be say, they no respect lockdown. Then suddenly you see what happened for that. It was amazing to see how Boya observed lockdown for the past 11 February. It was amazing. The whole 11 February come past. I not see one video or picture showing us, what did I call it? Bongo Square Grandstand. I not see no one video coming from Bongo Square of a parade going on there. I not see none of it. Inside Boya. They learned it the hard way because Ambazonia restoration fighters, they showed up and they took control. They tell the people, don't think we are gone. We are still here. We own the city and we will control the city. And so Boya, for the past 11 February, was completely shut down. Kambe said they will try. And they tried and they saw it. But let me also add that as far as Ngala Gerard be concerned, that guy is declared persona non grata inside Ambazonia. Ngala Gerard will set his foot anywhere, in any county, any local government area in Ambazonia at his own risk. He will set his foot in any local government in Ambazonia, in all of Ambazonia, at his own risk. Ngala Gerard has proven that he doesn't care about the people. Now, let me show you guys something. Ngala Gerard comes there with a bag of money, a suitcase full of money. He thinks he wants the people to believe he cares. He loves them. You know, they are my people. But the mayor is saying that money Ngala Gerard brought, he flashed it in their eyes, but he refused to hand the money to anybody. He probably took a few thousands, went to the market square, as you can see there, passed out a few thousands, and pocketed the rest, went back with the rest. But then the news has gone that, oh, Ngala Gerard came with 16 million and he gave it to the people. Oh, he's a great humanitarian, and so on and so forth. That is a message that would have gone around. But this is Ngala Gerard. This is Ngala Gerard. I think this is in Dubai or so. I'm not so sure, but I think it is in Dubai. That is Ngala Gerard with his family. Having fun. I think that was again in Dubai. Having fun in Dubai with his family, enjoying themselves while the people of his own constituency are dying. Why the people of his constituency are dying, ladies and gentlemen. And Ngala Gerard is having vacations with his family. You can see him there. Look at him. I guess that is a wife. I don't know. I'm not sure, but those are the children too. They're all having fun in the Dubai while his own home is burning. If he tells you that he cares, believe me, he doesn't. He doesn't. He is doing all of this for contracts. He is doing all of this for contracts. But again, to the people of Ambazonia, I say to you, listen to me. When lockdowns are declared, please respect them, observe them. Lockdowns and ghost towns will never come to an end until this struggle is over. Lockdowns, ghost towns are not going to be abolished, not until this struggle is over. So in places like Kumba, where we find a colonial officer, now there is this colonial officer in Kumba who is wreaking havoc against the people of Kumba. I want the people of Kumba to rest assured. I want the people of Kumba to rest assured that this young man, Edwin Ngwana, he is said to be the colonial divisional officer for Kumba 2. I'd like you guys to know that his days are counted. He will not continue, he will not be allowed to continue to do what he is doing in the city of Kumba, shutting down people's businesses and taking money from them and turning it back up. I learned that he was transferred to the BLM. He went and bribed his way, refused to go to the BLM, and came back to Kumba. And the people are very, very mad. People are very, very mad in Kumba for what this guy is doing. Even their own supporters are mad. I don't know whether anybody listened to, what is that guy called? MKPD. What is his name? My Country People. Even My Country People put out an audio warning this colonial officer that you cannot be shutting down people's shops. You cannot be shutting down people's shops at 8 o'clock precisely. That is what My Country People put down against this guy. If they are beginning to eat their, it's a case of dog eat dog. Dog eat dog for My Country People, who is one of their surrogates, to be condemning his action. Then you can tell this guy is really bad and wicked. But let me assure the people of Kumba that his days are numbered. His days are numbered. This guy's days are numbered. Edwin Ngwana, Kumba 2DO, say must be stopped, and he will be stopped. And I hope that the people get what I'm saying. So Kumba should rest assured. If it takes long, it will not take forever. If it takes long, it will not take forever. We know where he is. We know where he is. So nobody should be concerned. He will receive the recompense for his wickedness against the people in Kumba. We know for sure, 120%, that everybody in Kumba respects ghost towns. But they have to go out every Monday morning to stand by the door of their shops just in case this guy comes around. That will be brought to an end soon. And the people in Kumba will have the liberty to do what they want to do. It is your business. It is not this colonial officer's business. It is your personal business. All right. So I hope that is understood. But lockdowns, ladies and gentlemen, lockdowns, they have come to stay. Lockdowns, they have come to stay until this war is over, until we have reached a settlement, a ceasefire, or whatever it is called. Lockdowns and ghost towns will remain. Lockdowns and ghost towns will not give us victory, but they are symbolic. Remember, do not forget, we have international personalities all over the place, in Yaoundé, in Douala, and they are traveling all over the place. That when they travel and they realize that they cannot come to Ambazonia on any Monday, the question is why? And they are told there is war. That is a message we are passing through ghost towns and lockdowns to the international community. It is symbolic of our defiance against the annexation by La République du Cameroon. So that is why they must stay. They must stay. And we do not want to force it upon you, because I guess I want every Ambazonian, especially on Ground Zero, to understand the importance of this. La République du Cameroon keeps on talking about no mercy, peace, peace. And they think that we should just drop our arms and come and talk peace. We don't want peace. As I said it the other day in my speech, we're not fighting this war to get peace. Forget about peace. Throw peace to the dogs. We are fighting for justice. We are fighting for the recognition of a free and independent Ambazonia. We cannot say this enough. We are fighting for justice to be done over the injustices that have been perpetrated against us and our people and our territory since 1961. And that is why we talk about the root causes to the conflict. So if somebody is singing peace, no, forget about that. Forget about peace. No, we're not fighting for peace. And I really want the damn officials in La République du Cameroon to understand this. Peace is not in our agenda. There is nothing like peace in our agenda. Peace may be in your agenda. Justice is the one in our own agenda. That's what we are fighting for. In talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, I like to take you to Widekum. I like to take you to Widekum. Look at this colonial officer in Widekum. You will not believe that 8 years fighting annexation and occupation. A colonial officer sent to an exclusively English-speaking territory addresses our people in French. Think about that. Now listen to it.
Mongwa, c'est mon nom, sous-préfet de l'arrondissement de Widekum. Nous venons de célébrer la 58e édition de la Fête nationale de la jeunesse et les jeunes et les populations sont rassemblés à la place de fête de Widekum pour marquer leur participation à cette célébration. Et ils ont avoué de s'aligner, dirait le chef de l'État, son Excellence président Paul Biya, en copiant et en adoptant les comportements qui vont les aider à devenir des Camerounais de demain avec tout espoir de réussir et de développer le Cameroun en s'engageant, comme a souhaité le président de la République, dans les professions telles que les nouvelles technologies de la télécommunication, telles que l'agriculture, telles que l'élevage, telles que la mécanique, et j'en passe. Et aussi de croire en eux dans leur pays pour ne pas quitter le pays à tout prix. De savoir que au moment qu'ils quittent le pays, les autres sont en train de venir au Cameroun pour y rester. Avotia Mongwa, c'est mon nom, sous-préfet de l'arrondissement de Widekum.
All right.
Nous venons de célébrer le 58e
Okay,
édition de
ladies
la
and
Fête nationale de
gentlemen,
la
again,
jeunesse.
that is the colonial officer. That is the colonial officer for Widekum. The colonial officer for Widekum addressing our people in French. Again, can you even believe it? That 8 years into this war, a war of annexation, a war of marginalization, a war of oppression. In La République du Cameroun, colonial officers still remain so insensitive that they will come to what they call a national day and address our people in an exclusively Anglo-Saxon community in the French language. If nobody understands the reason we are fighting, take note of this. Take note of this. This is the reason why we are fighting. This is the reason why we are at war. This is the reason why we refuse to surrender. This is the reason why we refuse to give up. That under this circumstance, their colonial officer will be addressing our population in the French language. Again, this is the reason we fight. This is the reason we fight, ladies and gentlemen. So, we cannot give up. We can never give up on this war. We can never give up on this war for reasons like this. And if you think, say, oh, we will just rush, go make peace. We will just rush, go make peace. The moment you finish making peace, Even your mayor would address you for French. I tell you, even your mayor. Now, your mayor is supposed to be the person where they elect them from within the immediate community, one of our own. That is what it means. One of our own. The moment you go make peace with a lot of people to Cameroon, I can assure you, even your mayor will start speak French. I talked the other day, say, if we give up, if we surrender, the mayor of Bamenda, don't be surprised, will come from Bunda. The mayor of Victoria will be from maybe Littoral, and Boya too, Kumba. We have already seen some. I think a few years ago, the mayor of Moyoka was Francophone. Right. The mayor of Moyoka was Francophone. I think there was also one around Bamenda from the west, from their western region. So this war, if somebody they talk about peace, no. Tell them, say, we not get peace for we agenda. We have no agenda for peace with Larapoplidu Cameroon on our agenda. If they want peace, they know what to do. We know we know the kind of peace we want, and we know when we want that peace. We are not also fighting for reconstruction, of course not. This war is not about reconstruction. We have been together with Larapoplidu Cameroon since 1961. 1961, ladies and gentlemen. They did not construct anything. I don't know why they use the word reconstruction. What are they reconstructing? What was there in the first place that they want to reconstruct? What is there? As far as I know, the ring road has been unconstructed for as long as they started promising it. What are they reconstructing? Mbonge Road has been there for as long as we knew it. It was never constructed. What are they reconstructing? The seaport has been there for as long as they promised it. What are they reconstructing? There is nothing like reconstruction. If there was construction in the past, we wouldn't be here today fighting against La République du Cameroun. And by the way, who tells them that we cannot reconstruct our own cities, our own towns, our own villages? Who tells them we cannot do that? So please, let's take care of this war situation. When the war is over, the BLM will be rebuilt, Santa will be rebuilt, Nkambe will be rebuilt, Womb will be rebuilt, everywhere will be rebuilt. And even if it takes only the effort of our own community people. I traveled to Somaliland and I was really, really surprised. I was really, really surprised with the communal effort that I see in the development of their capital of their country. Everything, every single street part in Hargeisa, the capital of Somaliland, every skyscraper, every street, every road, is done by individuals, not the community. Individuals come and they pick stretch of roads, expand it, and tie it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will do that in Ambazonia. So a lot of people should not worry about reconstruction. We know when we need reconstruction, it will be through our own efforts, not the crumbs falling from their table. Not the crumbs falling from their table. We know when we will do reconstruction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to appreciate Ground Zero for staying home for 11 February. I think this 11 February was one of the most highly boycotted one. I saw a video emerging from Menji in the BLM where they had a march past. At first, I thought, where did these people come from in Menji? I was wondering, where did they get these people? Because I know there are no people there except the soldiers. But then, in that same footage, they betrayed themselves. In that same footage, they betrayed themselves. Now, in that same footage, If you listen, I would like to play that footage coming from Minji in the BLM. You hear, now they are speaking in French. The commentator is saying to the camera guy, hey, please, do not show the military in civil. Do not show the military in civil. Don't show. So essentially, the people participating in the march past with CPDM youth uniforms, they are the military clad in the CPDM fatigue. And those sitting in the grandstand are the military dressed like civilians sitting behind their colonial DO. And their colonial DO, do not forget, drove in from Chang, and right after the event, of course, he drove back to Chang. He cannot live in Minji. But I'd like you to listen to this, the betrayer from their own commentator. Listen, they are speaking in French.
Officer, il ne faut pas filmer nos gens de l'autre côté. C'est pour ça que je les ai mis là-bas à droite. Il faut beaucoup plus filmer le rang de gauche.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that most of those in that march past, they are men. They are men. Those are the colonial army that is in Minji, empty grandstand, and the only people in the grandstand are the other army seated there like civilians. Now they did that, video it, and they send it out. They want you to believe that civilians went and marched in Minji. I'd like to take a look at that again. Look at that. Now look at, I think there are about 3 or 4 women in this parade. The rest of them, they are all La République du Cameroon soldiers. All of them, all of those guys. They are all La République du Cameroon soldiers in the parade. Now, I'm sure you heard the commentator already, and the commentator is telling them, please don't show them, don't show their faces because these are military in civil. That's what they are telling them. You can see the empty grandstand that is in Minji, and again, those sitting inside the grandstand, that is still the military. You can see even their colonial DO. Nobody is seated on his left. Nobody is seated on his left. And I don't know whether one person is seated on. So this is all military affair in Minji. But comrades, I believe we get this point. I don't want to belabor the point. Lockdown is meant to be observed. It is meant to be respected. It is meant to be respected. Wherever we declare lockdowns, please make sure you respect it. Make sure you respect it. But again, I really love to appreciate. Ground Zero. Every man and every woman. In fact, I think in that parade, the only women there are those carrying the flag. No, there are, I think, 2 others or 1 other behind there. Okay, 1, 2. The one carrying 4 women. There are 4 women. The rest, the military. Is the military. I think, no, about 5 women there, I see. All right. So, but this is the point. This is the message for everyone on Ground Zero. We want to thank you for respecting and boycotting this so-called 11 February. 11 February the 4th of February 1984 is the day, or was the day, that La République totally took back their country, seceded from the Union, as Albert Mokong used to say. That was February 4th, 1984. That was when they declared a going back to La République du Cameroon from United Republic of Cameroon. And so, as the years go by, we will continue to resist this their annexation, this their assimilation, this their occupation. We will continue to resist it. One thing that I want to emphasize is that I want you people on ground zero to know we have all of you very, very much at heart. We do not want to call unnecessarily long ghost towns or lockdowns. The time we had all those unnecessary, we had long lockdowns, is gone. It's gone. Because I'm saying this because when we called for a 3-day lockdown, somebody came and said he was calling for 7 days, a full week lockdown. And we wonder, for what reason? For what reason? We are doing this thing as a symbol of our resistance. And so to go and say you are announcing a 7 days, a 1 week lockdown, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And so we said, we'll reduce it. We consulted with other partners, other stakeholders, and we agreed to reduce it to 3 days. And that was effective. And many of you, I received your messages and you were glad, you were happy, you loved it. And we want to thank you also for responding and for observing it and sending a message to La République du Cameroon that you will never cease your resilience and your resistance against their invasion. Let us keep it on. Let us keep it on until negotiations, until renegotiations take place. We are not giving up. Men will come and go, but we will not give up on Ambazonia. And talking about men coming and going, just imagine how many of them were here from the beginning. How many of them were part of this from the beginning? No, in their thousands. How many of them are still here today? Of course, very, very few. Many have dropped by the wayside. But I can assure you, I said here some time ago that this war will be won by the minority, not by the majority. The unfortunate thing is that at the end of the day, you will see some of them trying to rush back, because they see victory by the corner. Please, if you want your presence to be felt, be part of it now. Be part of it now. Come in, contribute your time, contribute your expertise, contribute your money. Many hands will do it easier and quicker. That is what it entails. So that is my appeal to everybody. We are not losing. We will not lose. We will win. And remember, we have all the time. We have all the time at our disposal, the time that La République du Cameroon does not have. We have that time. And all that we need are your resources. And talking about your resources, I still want to make this appeal to every one of you who listens to the sound of my voice. At the beginning of this year, I set up a 200 club, what I called 200 club. The 200 club, each person is contributing $1,000 between January and end of March. Please, the room is still there. The door is still open. I am appealing to you to please consider being one of those members of the 1,000 club. We actually have a forum. That is called the 200 club. But even if you don't want to belong to the forum, but you can give us your 1,000, and you don't want to be included in the forum, that is just fine. That is just okay. We appreciate it. So please, come in, join in, come in with your 1,000. We will very much appreciate it. I can assure you, we have a plan. We have a plan. We don't wake up each morning and think, oh, what are we going to do? No, we have a plan. We have a roadmap, ladies and gentlemen. That is what That is the way we prosecute this war. Unlike before, where we were just doing things randomly. No, we have a surgical plan. We have a surgical roadmap in which, if we have the money, if you can empower us with the funds, trust that we will be able to accomplish a lot. And I mean really a lot. Now, talking about time, having time, I want to take you to this development, this story that came out today, published by International Crisis Group. International Crisis Group. International Crisis Group, they published an article. They published an article today, essentially putting pressure on the AU, the African Union, to take over or to take up the case of the conflict in Amazonia. The International Crisis Group, they came up with an article today essentially indicting the AU for not looking into the Amazonian struggle, ladies and gentlemen. That article came up today, and I like to read portions of it for you, and then I am going to decode it. I am going to decode it for you to hear. Again, this is an article published by the International Crisis Group. The article came out today. Let me take you to that article, read portions of it for you to hear. Oh my, did I lose it? Okay, this is the article from the International Crisis Group. International Crisis Group calls on the AU to put Southern Cameroon's war on its 2024 agenda. That is a headline from the International Crisis Group. International Crisis Group calls on the AU, African Union, to put Southern Cameroon's war on its 2024 agenda. And the article reads, the Anglophone conflict in Cameroon is entering its 8th year with no resolution in sight. Insurgents in the northwest and southwest, the country's two Anglophone regions, are still attacking government soldiers, but increasingly one another as well. Civilians bear the brunt of the fighting. Killings, abductions, and sexual violence are almost an everyday occurrence. Why almost half the area schools have stopped functioning. Pro-government militias have sprung up in the Anglophone regions. I hope somebody heard that. Pro-government militias, that is different from the government regular army. Now, when we were talking about Atanganji's fighters, nobody believed us. Nobody believed us when we mentioned that the government has its own militia within Amazonia that is not made up of the regular La République du Cameroon's army. So, International Crisis Group is acknowledging that the government of La République du Cameroon has formed a militia separate from their regular army within Amazonia, and which is why our restoration fighters have to be very, very careful. Now, the article reads, pro-government militias have sprung up in the Anglophone regions, spreading more chaos. Now, I hope that those who write reports in Yaoundé are reading this, because tomorrow everything is done. Look at the Manfé killings. The killings in Manfé, they were done by this government militia, but, they say the separatists did it. In Kambe, they say the separatists did it. But this is International Crisis Group reporting that the pro-government militia that has been formed by the elite is spreading more chaos in Amazonia. Meanwhile, the article continues, in the capital Yaoundé, observers worry about the country's future. President Paul Biya, who turns 91 in February, appears to have left daily affairs to a handful of loyalists in government. As Cameroonians turn their attention to the post-Biya era, many fear a power vacuum amid the jostling over the presidential succession. The AU, they said, the AU should put the Anglophone crisis on its peace and security agenda, throwing its weight behind efforts to reach a settlement before political intrigue in Yaoundé makes negotiations even more difficult. The article reads. Now it continues. The Anglophone crisis is rooted in long-standing grievances about the dominance of Cameroon's mostly Francophone governing apparatus. The conflict was set off by protests by lawyers. I skipped that part of it. These events motivated Anglophone, I skip that, as infighting among militias worsens. Anglophone groups are seeking outside allies. Now I'm not going to bore you with that long reading of that article from International Crisis Group, but I summarized it. This way, ladies and gentlemen. I summarized the article this way. This is what in the International Crisis Group is saying. The AU, it says, meanwhile, in the capital, Yaoundé, observers are worried about the country's future. Observers always worried. Observers are always worried. So in Yaoundé. Now the article said the AU should put the Anglophone crisis on it. Now I'm reading their words, please. The AU should put the Anglophone crisis on its peace and security agenda, throwing its weight behind efforts to reach a settlement before political intrigue in Yaoundé makes negotiations even more difficult. Now, it also says Yaoundé is trying to quell the insurgency by military means, but the army has proven unable to stop the attacks. We are doing just fine, ladies and gentlemen. That is not our report. That is not written by us. I hope La République is reading it. Yaoundé is trying to quell the insurgency by military means, but the report says the army has proven unable to stop the attacks. They will never succeed to stop the attacks. This is a war, and wars are not settled on the battlefield, they are settled on the negotiation table. Which is why, until La République of Cameroon gets to the negotiation table, this is not over. This is not over. The attacks will not end. We will do everything that we can do to make sure the attacks can only intensify. La République of Cameroon has refused to listen. Every international observer has said, listen, you are not going to win this war on the battlefield. But no, they think they can kill everybody. They'll have to kill 8 million of us, isn't it? As some people say. They would have to kill 10 million of us to declare victory, to take over our territory. But you know, that is impossible. That is not going to happen. If they are unable to take care of a few tattered, untrained fighters hiding in the bushes, they think they can defeat all of Ambazonia. That is an impossibility. That's an impossibility. Now, the article also reads, the Cameroonian government's attempts to mollify, that is pacify, separatist Anglophone groups have thus far struggled to gain traction. In 2018, Yaoundé launched a disarmament, mobilization, and reintegration program to coax militants away from the insurgency. But, the article says, but to date, this initiative has had little success. Little success, ladies and gentlemen. We have die-hard people among us in our restoration fighters. So essentially, International Crisis Group is saying that Cameroon has tried everything. I wish Cameroon discovered from the beginning of this war that we are not just 2 cubes of sugar, we are 2 rocks, 2 ions that do not dissolve with water, with firearms. That's who we are. That's who Ambazonia is. They fought us for so many years, for 61 years, and they thought we were hopeless and miserable and we have no choice, we are going to surrender. They tested us, and at the beginning of the year of the war, they said 2 cubes of sugar. No, let's put that appellation back to them. We are 2 solid pieces of iron that do not dissolve in any form of liquid. And I hope they have realized that right now. So that is what International Crisis Group has said in their article, and I believe Cameroon is reading it. The International Crisis Group is simply saying Cameroon has tried everything and everything has failed. Now they have joined the separatists in creating an army within the separatists. And again, our restoration fighters should take note. Cameroon is using our own people against us, and our civilians should be of help to the restoration fighters, because we need to track down and take out those blacklegs and enablers within us. That has to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, if Cameroon think that we're going to come running to their knees to ask for peace, beg for peace, we are not happening. That is not happening. We're not coming to beg for peace. They are trying to beg us for peace. But unfortunately, peace is not what we are fighting for. Peace is not in our agenda. Justice is in our agenda. The wrongs of over 61 years have to be rewritten. They have to be made right. That's what we are fighting for. We are fighting against what we saw in Widekum, that a colonial officer working exclusively in an Anglo-Saxon territory will go and is addressing our people in the French language on a so-called National Day. That's what we are fighting for. That's what we are fighting against. Fighting for justice. All right. But one thing that I want to note, ladies and gentlemen, in the write-up coming from International Crisis Group is the recommendation to the African Union that, hey, African Union, Cameroon is about to go through a transition. You got to do something to settle this Anglophone crisis or conflict. You got to do something before the transition is over. I want to ask the International Crisis Group, are you treating this conflict on its merit, or you are just trying to rush for a solution so that Cameroon can have a smooth transition? Which one are you fighting for? Are you trying to let us know that the 8 million Ambazonians who have been annexed and colonized and occupied just do not matter? All what matters is a transition in La République du Cameroon. Where have you, International Crisis Group, been for the past 8 years? That you always see it an urgency now for the AU to treat this with urgency, because there's going to be a transition in Cameroon. You know what the International Crisis Group is saying? They are saying, well, you know, the AU, you got to do something to make sure that there is a successful transition taking place in Yaoundé. You don't want a transition in Yaoundé while this war is still going on. So please do something. Put it in your 2024 agenda. Make sure there is peace in Cameroon before a transition takes place there. If that is your modus operandi, sirs, we say no. You got to treat this conflict with the merits it deserves. It deserves. And if you think that there is a day coming that we are going to go back to Cameroon to become a united or a federal or a one and indivisible Cameroon, that day is no longer coming. We've gone too far to look back to that day. That day isn't coming. All right. I will take a brief break out, and I come back, and the phone lines will be open for you to call in. When I come back, I will address the question that Sama Thomas raised about some press statement that is making the rounds, and I learned some people are running their mouths about that press statement. Please, don't go away. Stay put. All right. Thanks for staying put in there, ladies and gentlemen. And before I give you the opportunity to come in and ask, make your calls, ask your questions, I like to talk a little bit about this. I wasn't going to say anything about that statement because though I signed it, it did not come from us. We did not write it. Though I signed it, left to me, it wasn't even meant for public consumption. It was meant for the record. Both sides was meant for the record. And in that document that Sama Thomas has referred to, we made our point very, very clear, what we want and how we want it. Now, I want to say that we were approached by CPI. CPI stands for Cameroon Peace Initiative. Now, take note of that. Cameroon Peace Initiative. That is what that organization stands for. Now, most members of that organization or the founders are Francophones. I would say including Eric Chinje, because Eric Chinje has connected his lineage back to La République du Cameroon in their western region. And so the other two, Onana and Trenko, they are all La Républicans. And so they had invited us into that meeting. They had consulted with me and asked if we would like to sit down with them to discuss a possible solution to the conflict. And I said, hey, we will not stay away from anybody who comes, who has a suggestion on how to end the conflict. And let me say this, comrades, we're not fighting this war because we like war. No, we are fighting it because we have to. We have no choice. It was actually declared on us, which is why we are fighting. But we have an end result we are looking for. And how we get there doesn't really matter to me. All what matters to me is whether we get there and we reap the results that we want. And so the CPI gentlemen, Eric Chinje, Onana, Trenko, they reached out to us and said, hey, they're having trying to see they can liaise with us and see they can we can initiate a way by which this conflict can be brought to an end. And we said, why not? Why not? And so they called for a meeting. They invited me, and I went there with my few members of my cabinet, and we had a meeting, and we were very blunt, very, very blunt in what we want, I like to read some paragraphs from that statement to you. The CPI leadership and the interim government delegation met on Thursday, February 8, 2024, through Zoom to discuss efforts aimed at finding a lasting solution to the ongoing conflict in Cameroon. I'm actually reading their language. The exchange, which lasted about 1 hour, 40 minutes, started as convened at 5 p.m., blah, 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 blah. In his preliminary remarks, Dr. Onga Nana, co-founder and chair of CPI, emphasized the fact that the situation in Cameroon is more than worrisome and that seeking peace is not a task exclusively reserved for the citizens of the regions directly concerned with the crisis. The spillover effects are huge for the rest of the country. I skipped that. He hoped that Mr. Anu and his team were open to meaningful negotiation, and assuming we all want to help create a sustainable and lasting peace, the purpose of the encounter would be to agree on the next steps. All right. It continues. In his opening remarks, Mr. Anu stressed the fact that this was simply a preliminary encounter or meeting that would be extended to include all stakeholders, if and when necessary. He said the ultimate objective would be to sit down with the government in an all-inclusive gathering. Now, he is quoting Mr. Anu there, being yours truly. Peace, Mr. Anu said or pointed out, does not mean accepting the status quo. Take note of that. Peace does not mean accepting the status quo. Now, the CPI team underscored the importance of clearly, listen to that, clearly defining the purpose of such a meeting. Important statements were offered by the interim government members, and they quote, "We have been wrong. We have been wrong." Now, those are members of the interim government speaking there. They said, "We have been wrong and will not be part of a negative peace. We want justice before peace." End of quote. Quoting the members of the interim government. On the question of leadership, I want to skip that one. The interim government of Ambazonia, led by Chris Anu, is ready to sit down with the government of La République du Cameroon and discuss the root causes of the conflict. CPI's understanding is that this will serve as a precursor to establishing a roadmap for justice, peace, and reconstruction. Now, those are their words, not our words. That is okay to me. If both parties cannot agree, they said, if both parties cannot agree, again, which is what we agreed or discussed, if both parties cannot agree, that is Ambazonia and Cameroon, if they cannot agree on this, an internationally supervised referendum exclusively for the people of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia will be organized as a means of resolving the conflict. Now, this is a position we have held all the time. And it continues, CPI leadership recognized the absence of consensus within the Cameroon government on the matter of the conflict, agreed to reach out to some power brokers in Yaoundé and present the agreed options to them. A follow-up meeting with the interim government will be held after CPI must have done some background work based on the conclusions of this exchange. of this exchange, and they ended by saying the CPI team is ready to engage in a global sensitization campaign for the internationally supervised referendum exclusively for the people of the Southern Cameroons and Amazonia if all efforts towards negotiations end in vain. That was essentially, not all, but that is essentially what is in that press statement. Now, I hear some people say, oh, it is, but some people out there saying, oh, it is this, it is that, it is that. You want to go and talk to a lot of people to Cameroon. You don't talk to a lot of people to Cameroon. You talk to who? You talk to sticks? Who do you talk to? Or you think that we will sit here talking to ourselves, and talking to ourselves, and then we will win the war? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if I dine with the devil for as long as that devil will facilitate for me a free and independent Ambazonia. We should not be so naive as to think that, no, you cannot talk to a certain people. Somebody said, oh, you must, I was reading something somebody wrote, oh, you must find out what is Eric Chinje going to gain into this. I don't care. I don't care what Eric Chinje is going to gain into this, ladies and gentlemen. I care what Ambazonia is going to get if we can sit down and negotiate an end to this. And negotiate a free and independent Ambazonia. In this war, it is not how we make it that matters. It is making it that matters. So, this is our policy here. Anybody who is ready to talk negotiations, anybody who is ready to talk a referendum for Ambazonia as the end goal, we are ready to listen to that person. We have to place ourselves not to be seen as the intransigent ones, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a lot of cacophony out there. If something is not coming from your leader or from who you vow allegiance to, it is no good. Listen, I will do anything that looks good, that sounds good in the eyes of Ambazonian people. We are not here to please anybody. We are not here to please any group. We are here to do exactly what we know will give us Ambazonia. And if talking to pro-La République du Cameroon surrogates or militants or groups will give us Ambazonia, let it be. All we want is Ambazonia. It's Ambazonia. So please, this idea that, oh, should not be talking to Eric Chinje, should not be talking to these La Republicans, it doesn't make sense. You want to talk to La République du Cameroon, you want to get to the negotiation table. Who do you hope to talk to? To Nigerians or to Biafrans? You got to talk to La Republicans. If some of them are in the place to facilitate dialogue or negotiation, so be it. Let's give it a chance. For as long as we do not compromise our principles are justice and a free and independent Ambazonia. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to go any further. I didn't plan to talk about this. It's because I saw a comment here on the timeline, and somebody was commenting about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will see funny write-ups out there. We will just continue to do what we believe is good for all of us. What we believe is good for all of us. You think that Paul Tanganji sets up a meeting and says, Chris, we want your delegation to come and attend this meeting and let's figure out a way to an end. You think we will reject it? Of course not. Go sit down and listen. Go sit down and listen for as long as there is a promise of justice. We did not go to Canada because that was never discussed. We had known that Canada was a continuation of the grand national dialogue, which is why we said, if knowing what we know, why should we go there? Waste our time. Of course, it ended up. That is what it was about. Does it occur to you, comrades, that our guys, our people representing Ambazonia who went to Canada have never, if for a day, come out to explain to you what they did in Canada. Have you thought about that? The thing failed, but they lacked the courage, or I don't know what they are covering, what they are shielding. They never came back to you to tell you, this is what we discussed with La République du Cameroon, and La République du Cameroon has worked out, but this is what we agreed. I thought they said there was a piece of paper that both parties signed. I thought that when Cameroon now walks away from it, they will come forward with a piece of paper to say, this is what we agreed in Canada. But they failed to do that. Let me promise you, for as long as I remain the leader of this interim government, I will not go into any meeting and not walk out and explain to you what exactly we did there, which is why I signed this press statement so that you understand that we had a meeting and this is what we discussed. We have principles. You should chide us, ladies and gentlemen, if we are walking away from our principles. You should chide us if we are walking away from what we stand for. Then that will be a problem. But for as long as we stand on what we believe in, please give it a chance. Give it a chance. All right? Okay. I will open the phone lines now. Go ahead and call in, ask your questions, make your contribution. And I'm quite fired up here today. Go ahead, please, and call in, ask your questions, and we'll go from there. Again, the phone line is open, and you have it there on your screen. You have the phone line there on your screen. You go ahead and call the phone line that you have on the screen. So I hope that press statement thing is clear. Somebody writes, Sami Ajasko, all we want is Ambazonian, despite talking to whoever. Absolutely. That is exactly the point I am making. I see Igwe in Chong right. Some Ambazonians act like babies. Yes, sir. There you go. Comrade Sama Thomas, thank you for that explanation. Thank you, sir. Let me get to the callers here. This is starting London. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah, Chris, good afternoon. Congratulations. Yeah, I just want to contribute to the show. Yeah, I don't have any problem with talking with anybody. This is Joshua Ambazo to begin in the first place. But then I'm glad that you also talked about Canada. I'm also concerned that those who went to Canada didn't come out to tell the people what happened in Canada, despite the fact that they promised. But then we shouldn't forget the fact that the Canadian authority also made it clear happened in Canada, even though the people who went there didn't say anything that happened in Canada. And I'm still expecting the people who went there to come out and say what actually happened in Canada. So me, actually, I don't have any problem with anybody talking with anybody, so long as the outcome of that talk will lead to justice, like you said, justice and an independent Ambazonia. But what I do not appreciate is if you can go and talk to somebody to bring peace to bring justice and the independence of Ambazonia, you shouldn't also chastise other people going there. For instance, when Sisiko Ayok Tabe spoke with the people of La République du Cameroon while he was in jail, people questioned that, and so it is only fair that if you people also talk to the people of La République du Cameroon, also question that.
All right, hold on a second. I get your point there. Hold on. Don't drop. Do not drop. Let me clarify you. When you talk to La République du Cameroon and make it a secret, that is where the problem lies. If you go to Canada, I'm referring to the case of Sisiko. You are behind bars and you hold talks with La République du Cameroon. What he should have done was call the comrades outside and say, hey, comrades, we heard this meeting. This is what we discussed. I want you guys to know because we are all in this together. No, he did not do that. Now, the guys who went to Canada, even if the Canadian government say you have to shut your mouth, but then when the whole thing fails, they owe it to the people to say, okay, now that a lot of public has walked away and the process is no longer there, this is what a lot of public agreed upon, and this is a piece of paper. That did not happen. So you begin to question, what did they discuss? Just imagine, let me put it this way. If we, from this meeting of 2 days or 3 days ago, did not produce this document, and some of you heard that, oh, Chris Anu met with Eric Chinde and some lot of applicants, you guess what they will be saying? Chris Anu just sold it, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I also said in the beginning that I know that they owe the people of Amazonia an explanation of what happened in Canada. But what I also said is that the authorities of Canada came out clearly and at least give us an idea of what happened in Canada and said that it's La Republique who is running away from that discussion.
No, you are very correct, but hold on there. You are very correct. It was not the place of the people of Canada to come out and say anything, though they were obligated to do it, being that they were the mediators. Our own people who said they represented us. When they left Canada, they said they have agreed to a position, a document. In fact, at one time, they threatened to publish it. They actually put out a day and said they are coming out to publish it. And then they didn't. Up to today, Ambazonians know nothing of what they discussed in Canada.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Chris, and I've stated that clearly. And actually, me personally, that is Jojo Ambazo, I've been holding them. I've been on their neck constantly that they have to come out and tell the people what happened.
All right.
And regarding Sisiko Ayok Chabi, at least he made a statement, that these are the conditions for negotiation, that people should be released. We all saw that statement was public. So to say that he didn't come up with a statement is not fair, because he made a statement. We all know about that statement. He said that people must be released. They must pull out the troops, the occupational forces in Amber Land, and there must be an international mediated negotiation. That statement came out. We all saw it. You say that they didn't make any statement, I don't think that's fair.
No, you get me wrong. You get me wrong. It is one thing to say, make that statement. It is one thing to, especially when you are behind bars. It is another thing to call your lieutenants outside who are riding the machine to say, hey, we discussed this. You don't have the newspapers telling us what you discussed. You call your lieutenants to say, hey, we had this meeting, and this is who was there, this is what we discussed, this is what I told them. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that we didn't know. It's the same thing. Hold on there. It is the same thing like, hold on there. It's the same thing like the Naira hotel thing. Right, Naira abduction. We know that, they went to Naira. I can assure you up to today, as I speak to you, we do not know what the meeting in Naira Hotel was about. Even Tarzan Wilfred, who is with them behind bars today, doesn't know what that meeting was about. So please, but let's leave it here. Let's leave it here and not drag things. Thanks. Let's get through orders.
Yeah.
All right. The phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and make your call. Go ahead and make your call. The phone line is open. All right, again, while I'm waiting for the phone calls, I'd like to remind all of you again, listen very carefully, attentively. We have a very, very, very important guest. I have a very important guest who will be with me tomorrow on News Talk at 8 p.m. Amber. Now, this is the kind of a guest I have not brought on to this show since we started this struggle. I'm just trying to tell you how important this guest is. I am not putting out a flyer or a poster about it because you know how some of our people act. So we want to protect it and make sure that everything goes well, and he is here tomorrow So you don't want to miss that. It is going to be very, very, very educative and illuminating. So take note of that. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber. Let's get back to the phones. Hello. 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 All right, we lost that caller. The phone line is still open. But again, please remember tomorrow we have a big show. A big show tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Mark your time. 8 p.m. Amber tomorrow. A big guest. Somebody, the caliber of which we've not had on this show ever since the war began. Again, I didn't want to put out a poster because some people are very hypocritical and destabilizing. They can just make phone calls or put messages on the social media to cause a disruption. We don't want that. I hope that we will have good connection tomorrow for that show tomorrow. You don't want to miss the show tomorrow. All right. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. I can hear you, sir. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cameroon. From Amazonia.
From Amazonia. Okay, sir. What is your contribution?
My contribution, Mr. Comrade Chris, I appreciate what you are trying to put it out there. Because what our people went to Canada, even the people of Brazil here, nobody knows about it. So we are happy as we are bringing that point that people should be outspoken, whatever you do, and talk about Amazonian, you should let the people know. So, Comrade Chris, we really appreciate for your good work you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, that is it. The phone line is open, ladies and gentlemen. The phone line is open. Go ahead and call. This is open mic. Do not forget, on open mic, we'll let you call, express your mind. We'd like you to call, ask questions. We'd like you to call and make contribution on any area in this struggle. All right? So you go ahead and do that. Let's get to... I think this is Maryland. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for accepting my call. I appreciate everything that you have been doing. I just want to ask one question. On 11 February, our people are fighting to stop people from going out. Why do we do something at Nkambe and you come here to deny it that we are not the people? It means that we are not fighting the war. Are we afraid of anybody? Why can we not accept that we are the people?
That's a very good. That's a very good.
We do not accept simply.
Yes. Hold on. I'm not going to drop you. Hold on. That's a very good question. But let me tell you, I will not accept something that I cannot point to who did it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, if I can point to the person who did that, and then I would then know whether he is one of us or not. Many instances we've had a lot of people to Cameroon do stuff and pin it on our boys. I mean, you have seen them kill civilians, put den guns on them so they can say, Amba did it. So unless we are very clear as to who is doing what, we cannot go claiming it. I see so many groups, the ADF and even SACO, they learn how to claim stuff all the time. They claim everything. Even when they don't have any idea as to who is doing it, they claim it. No, I'm not in the art of doing that. If I know exactly who did it, I will say, hey, that guy is responsible to us. He did it and we did it, and we will give the reasons. Does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, the last question. The Mount Cameroon race is at the corner. What are we doing to stop the race? What are we doing? Are we just sitting and only talking, sir?
Well, you cannot just sit there and say, we're just sitting. You want us to go and come and sit on television and tell you what we are doing?
Yeah, to mobilize.
How do you know? How do you know that is not going on? You want us to come and announce it?
On the way, it's okay.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the phone line is open. Let me see what they are saying on Facebook. You can't find yourself in the enemy's prison and expect to hold a meeting and talk about a free Ambazonians. Otherwise, you will remain there forever. Okay, that is somebody writing here on the Facebook. We hope enablers and Thomases have heard the explanation. I guess this person is referring to that press statement. We hope enablers and Thomases have heard the explanations. These public explanations are necessary because some young focus, like Amber Newsline, were just telling lies. You see, Comrade, this is I never want to talk about these guys, whether Amber Newsline or Fabiaco or Fabiano or whatever they call those guys who get their news from La Republique du Cameroon. I never want to come sit here trying to defend anything they say out there for irrelevant activists who would not as much as be bold enough to present themselves as cowards, and they sit on the social media, cover their faces, and they are in the diaspora, and they write nonsense, and they think that I will come and sit here and then defend it. I will never give them that dignity or dignify them that way. So I'm just saying this to say that every time you see anything from any activist covering his face, masquerading his voice, and they cannot openly tell you who they are, even when they live in the diaspora, please never take anything from them. Seriously, they are spoilers. They may be pretending they are with you and me. I don't think they are. I just don't think they are. Some of these things are very easy, simple. You find a statement out there with Chris Anu's signature on it. All of you, I guess, all of you know how to reach me with the number you have on your screen. And you call me and say, hey, Comrade Chris, I saw this statement out there. What can you say about it? I will take time to explain to you exactly what it is, just as I have done here. And if they were not saying that, putting out the trash out there, I wouldn't even have said anything, because I should not be saying it. I should not be saying it. But when you find those faceless activists writing nonsense out there, please do not circulate their trash. Trash it. All right. Oh. Simon Thomas, people only ask questions to others. What is their own contribution? Okay. All right. The phone line is still open. The phone line is still open. If the calls are not coming in, I want to assume that you are very much okay. But do not forget again, tomorrow I have a big guest. Tomorrow I have a big guest, a big interview on News Talk. Again, this guest is a big fish. He's a really, really big fish in the diplomatic, international diplomatic circles. We are not advertising it out there because we have very dubious people who may just want to destabilize it. So, but I want you to take note, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber, here on ABS, we're going to be having a big interview with a big personality, a big international personality. It will be historic, and I really mean it. I'm not just trying to make propaganda here. It will be historic. So take note, tomorrow you want to be here tomorrow. You want to make sure you watch it. And the good thing is, I will always open the phone lines for you to ask questions, no matter how big that person may be. I will open, after interviewing him, I'll open the phone lines and allow you to call in and ask questions. That's what I will do tomorrow. Okay, again, the phone line is there. And remember that this is open mic. This is open mic. So go ahead and call. You have a question, you have whatever that you may have, go ahead and call, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello, Comrade Chris.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
From Ground Zero.
All right. And what is in your mind, sir?
Okay, what is in my mind is that from the first speaker, he just said he was asking you technical questions. And every time they ask you technical questions, you tried, for me, I think you tried to run you tried to run away from it. When you asked that they went to Canada and they never produced any document, I'm asking you, when you created your embassy in America, did you provide any document signed by the State Department acknowledging the Cameroonian embassy in America?
Okay. Is that all?
Is that all?
Okay. Hold on. Don't drop the phone. You're asking whether when we went to the State Department and created an embassy, did I do what?
Did you present a document to the American people showing that the State Department of America has acknowledged that the ambassador can create an embassy in America?
Well, number one, we did not create an embassy. Let me make that very clear. Number two, we created a diplomatic mission. A diplomatic mission. If we had created an embassy, we would then have an ambassador who would then be recognized by the U.S. State Department or government. So that idea, that narrative that they created an embassy, I have made it very clear, plain clear, again and again, we created a diplomatic mission. Secondly, you asked whether...
What was the diplomat accepted by American government, by the State Department?
I'm sorry?
When you create a diplomatic mission...
Hold on. Let me finish. This is not a quarrel, right? Because if it is a quarrel and I don't want to answer your question, I will just drop the phone, but I don't want to do that. Hold on.
Drop the phone.
Hold on. Do you want to... You ask a question. Do you want to listen to the answer or not?
You cannot tell me what I know.
All right. Hold on. Listen. When you register in the U.S., when you register an organization, the registration is in the public domain. All that I need to do is to announce we have registered this or formed this in so and so state in the USA, and interested parties can then go on the website of the U.S. government and pull out the records to verify it if they exist. And in our case...
talking of a diplomatic mission, as you said, a diplomatic mission is being recognized as by the State Department as a diplomat.
Well, then I don't think you understand the English between an embassy and a diplomatic mission. It's a name.
Okay. It's a name.
You understand me? If you create an embassy, it means you are a recognized state and you're
is always right. Why don't you listen to what other people are doing to us?
Okay. All right, he dropped the call. I guess he was one of those disgruntled fellows who think that he can come in and just say his own thing. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So when you register an organization in the USA, the documents are in the public domain. Anybody with access to the internet can access those records. That is why we don't need to be flashing papers, flashing documentation. We say anything, you doubt it, just go out and get to the internet. And we saw the registration of these embassies circulating. Hold the line, please. Hold the line. We saw the documents of those of that registration circulating all over the place. We didn't put it out there. People went to the U.S. government website and dug it out and prove it. So we didn't need to come to print it and put it out there for you to see it. It wasn't necessary. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Japan.
Japan. Wow, that's interesting. What's the time in Japan now?
This is 7:26 a.m.
7:26 a.m. Interesting. All right. What is on your mind?
I think I I should be the only caller from Japan as always.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. I want to respond in regards to the last caller.
Okay.
I think people should not just to talk because they think they have data on their phone, they can call and talk. And the fact that you are doing it the way you are doing it doesn't mean that you couldn't have still do the way others have done.
Mm-hmm.
Where was this last caller when other organizations have created their own things and over the years? No, he has never questioned them to provide authentic documents to show that you are an existing organization.
Yeah.
Why now? Is it just because it came from Cristiano? I don't know.
Yeah.
So people should not actually should not allow their emotions to override their reasoning. Seriously.
Right. All right.
It's about and he could not even differentiate between a diplomatic mission and whatever. He's just talking. He's just talking. He called with a negative mind already.
Yeah, he already has a twisted mind. He was, I think, he's calling to argue, to fight, and not to learn, I guess. Yeah. But thank you for the call. Let me get to the other callers.
Has he even contacted Joe Ayama to provide the documents he has for AFC or APL? Has he?
Well, thank you.
When it goes into they will be all over.
Well, you have to know that I am fit for anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, the Honorable Sana Thomas.
Yeah, good afternoon, Comrade Chris.
Good afternoon, good evening for you there.
Yep. In fact, I want to really appreciate the explanation which you've given in regard to that press release, which I saw over social media this morning. But what I called to say, or to talk about, is the last guy who just called from claiming that he's coming from ground zero, which I want to term him an enabler or a stereotype. Next time when such a stereotype calls, who does not want to listen to an explanation, we all such persons know further explanation because they already know themselves, right, and cannot listen to you. So next time, drop such an idiot, let him go wherever he wants to go and ask that question there and got the explanation from there. For if you call me to ask a question, expect me to respond to that question. But if you do not want to listen for my response, I need not to listen to what you are saying for you. You are engaging me in the fight, which is not very, very advisable. So next time, please, we shouldn't give room to such vexation spirits, to disturb people's spirit.
All right, great. Thank you. I take those questions. I'm capable of taking those questions because I don't want them to think that there's something here to hide. Absolutely zero. We sit down and deliberate over everything, every action, every decision we take, and if they need answers, we give them answers. Except when their minds are so skewed and they call just to debate or argue. Thank you, sir. Let me get to the other callers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
All right. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Comrade Cristiano. This is Maitre Nicom from the Netherlands.
Oh, Maitre Nicoms. Good to hear your voice, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think we have some. But I will go to some. I'll try to cover it. Actually, I see you advertising the hosting of a big fish diplomat tomorrow on the broadcast. As much as this diplomat or this big fish not yet known to the public, I think my personal opinion is for almost 8 years and counting now, all diplomatic front have failed the Amazonian people. So to me, I don't see any reason any big diplomat is coming here. They're only coming to be relevant or what? What are they coming to announce now that they will be hearing at the United Nations General Security Council on the Amazonian coast? So to me, I think the preaching.
So are you saying that we just ignore them?
No, it's not like ignore them. They can contribute. Like interview, you are just coming to teach. I don't see any new thing that the world doesn't know about Amazonia.
No, I think you make a mistake there. Listen, we are not the first case where a war of liberation goes on for years, and all the diplomats were there, isn't it? The United Nations was still there, the AU was still there, the EU was still there, all the diplomats were still there. It went on for years upon years. So please, let us have patience and walk the road that others have walked. If they are not acting now, let's keep on giving them the reason to work with us. Because at the end of the day, we need them.
Yes, I know we need them at the end of the day, but so far, none has is yet to propose any tangible.
No, that is not true. That is not true. If you were within the circles, you will know that is not true because you don't know who we are talking to. You don't know which meetings we are holding.
Unless it is being provided, and then some of you frontline leaders are not making it known to the general Amazonian public.
Yeah, there are things that are deemed classified. You don't have to go talking about it, you know.
Yeah, I know they are deemed classified, but so long as they remain, unknown to the Amazonian public, then it's of no value to the people because the people need to be motivated.
No, it is. It has.
Seeing justice being done. Justice is being done.
I think justice is being done. Why do you think that we prevail up to today and the international community has not said?
Amazonia is prevailing up to date because of the stamina in our people.
Yeah, but also because what if? Let me ask you. No. Hold on. What if? No. Hold on there. Your call. Listen to me. What if the U.S. had declared all of us here terrorists?
In the first place, the U.S. has no ground to declare Amazonia.
No, then you don't understand what diplomacy is all about, sir.
Let me land.
No, I have to take other questions. Okay, you go ahead and land.
No, listen. The United States of America cannot declare citizens from Amazonia terrorists who are seeking.
Why not? Why not? Politics is a game of interest.
Excuse me, sir. The United States voted for the independence of the Southern Cameroon. It's one of the countries that voted. They cannot turn around and say people who are being eliminated. We are being killed.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you. If you follow your argument, why is the same United States that has a security, a permanent seat at the United Nations? Why is it not saying, hey, give them back their country? We voted for it. On the same token, that you are making that point. You realize that doesn't make sense. That's not how the way operates. Thank you for the call. All right, go ahead and call, please. Okay. Hello.
Yes, Comrade Chris, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Honorable Dr. Ngwambe, I guess.
Yes, it is.
All right.
I mean, originally I was calling really to speak on this issue of the diplomatic mission, but then I heard this our brother Wahidi talk about this. Say the United States they no get the authority for designate anybody as a terrorist or what you so. And at one point with this our brother, I say, if you know Colombia, because you know about the struggle that is going on in Colombia now down in South America.
Right.
They get these people where they call themselves the FARC, FARC.
Right.
That people. It's kind of like a liberation kind of dignity movement trying to get concessions from the Colombian government. But the United States has labeled them terrorists. And because the United States don't label them terrorists, any person will help or contribute for them financially or even engage in finding them equipment made in fight, you can go down for that. It's a big problem.
Correct.
So I don't think our guy understands this international relations kind of things and foreign policy relations kind of things. The fact that the U.S. government has not labeled us terrorists, and the fact that they can tacitly see that our plight resembles what they went through against the British in the 1700s, it should be proof enough for Ambazonians to get some common sense from it and move forward.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. I don't know why our guys reasoned. I mean, you don't see any common sense in their reasoning.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we have to do our best to inform them and educate them the best that we can. If they choose to understand, hopefully they understand it. They don't, that's their business. But the information is out there. They can go and read it for themselves. And they should not just believe and listen to people who are just going to tell them what they want to hear. Listen to people who are trying to educate you so you understand what is really going on in the real world. Finally, with this issue of the diplomatic mission, for the person who was talking about the diplomatic mission and whether the U.S. State Department recognized it or not, my fellow Ambazonians, the term diplomatic mission covers, it's a broad term which covers representative offices, which is what we have, consulates, and embassies. Consulates and embassies, yes, you will have a recognition by the government of the country that you're in and all those types of things like that. But you can have a representative office in the country that you are trying to lobby or you're trying to engage, and that representative office does not need to have any kind of accreditation from the State Department or the official government of that country. So when people are not understanding what the use of the term diplomatic mission, that is because they don't want to go and study and read these things and understand them. They just want to be out there pushing false narratives. It's unfortunate, but we have a diplomatic mission, whether the State Department did not recognize it or not. And furthermore, Comrade Chris, you never went out there and said that this was a diplomatic mission that was recognized by the State Department or the U.S. government. You never said that.
No, I never said that.
So I just wanted to clear that up for the Amazonian people. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, sir. Thank you. All right, that was a great call. The phone line is open. I see many of you are trying to call. Go ahead and call. The phone line is open right now. So again, remember tomorrow is very important. You don't want to miss the show tomorrow. 8 p.m. Amber. Have a great interview coming up tomorrow right here. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening, Comrade Chris.
I can barely hear you. Your voice is very low.
Okay,
hello.
Hello, Comrade Chris.
Hello, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Jeff from Berlin.
From Berlin. Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I want to comment on the caller who called from Netherlands.
Okay.
And he was talking about the issue of the EU trade, which the diplomats. I want to remind him that if the American government never had an interest in Amazonian, all of you in the state will not be declared as terrorists.
Absolutely. And they don't even need to justify that, right?
Exactly. The word diplomat, you hear every day in normal parlance that please diplomatic language. A diplomat would tell you that that we are fighting a lost battle, but behind the closed door, he will tell you to march fire, to go over firepower.
Mm-hmm.
So the gentleman doesn't know what is called diplomatic language. So it will be a fundamental mistake for him to think that we should ignore diplomats, because at the end of the day, we still need them to push our agenda.
Right.
It will be very clear on that point. There is no diplomat who will sit with you on your show and be telling you, let's divide Cameroon, let's do
that. Of course not. No diplomat will do that.
No, don't do that. But diplomacy is playing behind the closed doors, not on the public.
Right.
So that's the point is let us sink directly into his ears to know that it will never happen. No diplomat in the world will ever stand and tell Cristiano, please, I'm behind you, let's divide Cameroon. No.
Right.
It's very clear. Even where he is talking, he's living in Europe. And I bet you, most of the activists in Europe, even America, if the European Union was not aware that we have a genuine cause, they would have long declared all of them, the Ayabachos and the rest, to be terrorists.
Absolutely.
So they
Absolutely.
know the truth.
Right.
They know the truth. Yes.
Right.
You know, I must say this. I'm talking like an expert right now. The Amazonian struggle is one of the most less expensive conflicts in the world. Because why? It's a conflict that is being used to preach with the first language in the world, English. As compared to the other conflicts in the world where they use Arabic and other language. So we give the international community first-hand information. They need no interpreters to get our message.
Right.
So I still insist on the fact that there is no way somebody who calls himself Amazonian will say that we should ignore diplomats. Never, never.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, sir. Calling from London, right?
I'm calling from Canada, please.
Oh, from Canada. I see a London number. Okay, go on, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah. I'm just trying to say that you guys, you are jokers, you know.
Okay, thank you. All right. I think that guy lost his dignity. If you can call on the television and start your first word is very undignified, you don't deserve to be called. You don't deserve a call here. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Comrade Chris.
Good evening, sir. Calling from which county?
How do you?
Where?
I am the one used to call you Firepower Man, Cristiano.
Oh, okay. Calling from Ground Zero, I guess.
Yes. What I want to say is that from the no gozum. Wait till I want to talk. May I talk for pigeon? Wait till I want to talk. Now say that people they talk. They want to condemn diplomacy, whether they lack knowledge for understand English. Now that time where you be want to create the diplomatic office, even for this station where I be the follow, I be the, used to follow for station for CBC. That barrister who or who if he talk say it no can make you 3 days they can catch you say they can lock you.
Which barrister said that? That is Flo Johnson.
That you
he said it will not last 3 days and they will catch and they will pick me. Where did he say that?
They go through 1 week they no can catch you for that diplomatic office. In the social media now, I was following through I am a follower. I used to follow information. I was there listening.
Okay.
So I'm surprised a responsible barrister like that opening the mouth instead for all of us for appreciate for push forward the revolution for get out from the enemy. He say it will not take you 1 week unless they arrest you. Don't the other man way be the try for us nonsense. Now that their group.
I believe so.
Up to 3 months or how many months they see yes. So
I think those who have been hoping that I should be picked up, maybe locked up behind bars, I think they should be very worried now that their prayers are not being answered.
I say, when you are working with a clean heart, Comrade Chris, God is behind you. Keep on.
All right.
Today, I was the first person I was the first person. I was one of the person that see that signature for today. I say no. To where they write, I'm so correct. I know Chris. I know go join this or sign something where get reasonable explanation.
What is it? Are you referring to the document? You are referring to the press statement I just.
That document that they were condemning that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, that you just come and declare to people. But for my belief, when I see a talk say no, be Chris, they no fit sign something so where it no be in our favor.
Well, I really hope that our people to get their own minds, read things and take it for what it is, and when in doubt, make your findings, question, because some of those people who are putting information out, you would think that if they really care about this struggle, they come across any document, they will call, they will say, you know what, let's talk to Chris first. Let's call Chris and find out. The moment I explain it, you realize it made a lot of sense, but they have already put out their trash. And again, I just hope that they remember that there was once somebody called Eric Tato. Where is he today? Nowhere to be found. I am still here. They can write all the trash and they can write all the emptiness on all the trash and do all the name calling. Yeah, I will still be here. I trust in doing the right thing and doing it with a clear conscience, as you put it, and we will not be intimidated by anybody. I know it's all just envy. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. We are together. I'm waiting for the man tomorrow, for the lion man tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have 4 minutes to leave this chair. And again, I can't forget to remind you about the special interview, exclusive interview that is programmed for tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber time, 1 p.m. Texas time, 2 p.m. Washington time, Eastern time, and 8 p.m. Amber time, right here on ABS. You don't want to miss that. Okay, looking to get a last caller to call it a night. The last caller to call it a night. Go ahead and call. The line is free. The line is free. All right, and let me see what the people on Facebook are saying. Sammy Ajasko, let this caller reserve his questions to the big fish diplomat. Okay, I guess he's referring to Matron Yikon, who called and was questioning the diplomats. Okay. All right, there is no call coming in, ladies and gentlemen, so I am going to call it a night, but I'd like again to thank all of you for tuning in. I'd like to thank all of you on Ground Zero, especially for the wonderful success that we registered in boycotting and frustrating La République du Cameroon's so-called 11 February. I think this was the most successful boycott that we've had ever since we went into this war against La République du Cameroon. By next week, I believe, maybe Monday or Tuesday, we will be declaring a lockdown for Boya. We will be declaring a lockdown, not just Boya, but the entire FACO against February 24th, so-called mountain race. So if you live in FACO, start making your preparations. If you live in FACO, start making preparations for a lockdown on February the 24th. That is the date they have scheduled their so-called mountain race. Anything that is being organized in our territory by La République du Cameroon officials for a perceived normalcy, we will not let it happen. And I also know right now they are working on doing their election registration right now all everywhere. You see the chiefs, the elite descending upon our LGAs and counties and doing election registrations. They have started. But once more, I'd like to assure them that that is not going to happen in Ambazonia. At the end of the day, we know they will still have results to declare. Since time immemorial, Cameroon has always have to declare results, even if people did not vote, so that we are aware of that. But if the so-called elite, the blacklegs and the enablers and the chiefs, they think that they're going to have elections anywhere in Ambazonia, that is not going to happen. That will not happen. We are seriously monitoring what they are trying to do. We are seriously monitoring their elections preparations. And while they prepare, we are preparing. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for a big interview. Good night and God bless you all.